remember we met, I could tell by your smile.
Welcome back to the channel, Concept of the Mind, where we give insight about business, lifestyle, and self-betterment. In this video, we'll be talking about how well businesses adapt to the market, and more specifically, the businesses that fail to adapt to the market. So in a world where customers heavily determine whether a business will be successful or whether it fails, a business owner or CEO will always have to be on the ball when it comes on to whether the customer prefers your product or whether they don't. Many things can determine whether a business will be successful or not. From a business perspective, you'll have to completely understand the market that you cater for. Understand where customers find value in your product or service and provide that to the best of your ability to keep customer loyalty, customer satisfaction, and to yield a profit. All of this will determine whether or not your business will be successful. But many things can change the market in which a business is in. These things could be new competition, new innovations and trends in the market segment, and it could also be the general slowdown in the economy. So you see that it's detrimental for a business to always keep up with trends and happenings that are in their respective fields. But before we go any further into this video, I would like you to think back about the last 10 years and see how many businesses you can remember that aren't around now. And just drop that in the comment section and let me know about the businesses that met their demise, unfortunately.
I'm 680 News Senior Business Editor Mike Apple. We saw a beat down on shares of BlackBerry today that we haven't seen in about 4 years' time. Shares dropped close to 20% at the lows as BlackBerry reported its second quarter earnings, and it was a big fail on a number of levels. First off, they lost $44 million US. Now, part of that was due to the fact that they had a big purchase during the past year, which was attributable to a loss on the quarter, but at the same time, the sales growth for BlackBerry did not live up to expectations. It was up 16% compared to last year at $244 million, but that was below guidance, and their earnings forecast wasn't up to investor expectations either. So BlackBerry today dropped to close to a one-year low. It's back below $9 a share on the TSX, and again, at its worst level today, it was down close to 20%. Meantime,
so without any further delay, let's get right into the video. So I'll be listing a few of the businesses that failed, unfortunately, and how they met their demise. So the first company on the list would be BlackBerry. I know a lot of persons won't be a stranger to this name. I can remember specifically when BlackBerries were all the hype, when everyone wanted a Bold 2, a Bold 3, or a Torch. And at one point, BlackBerry had over 80 million users worldwide, including the former president for the United States, Barack Obama, which only changed his in 2016 to an iPhone. So in the mid-2000s, the primary mode of communication, or I should say personal communication, was through BlackBerry Messenger, and everybody wanted to know your PIN, so they could chat up with you anytime. How did BlackBerry actually meet their demise? BlackBerry ignored the shift in their respective fields when it related to their phones and how the hardware was coming across. Soon the world started to use touchscreen based type of technology, and smartphones were the leader in these innovations. So BlackBerry didn't jump onto this trend where smartphones were being made with full touchscreens, even though they had a phone that was a semi-touchscreen and integrated hard buttons. And iPhones had already started to put touchscreens in their phones. Also, iPhones were also integrating Siri into all of their devices. And by the year of 2016, BlackBerry shares had dropped to 0.2%.
No company is too big to fail. Of all the companies, Nokia must know it all too well. From selling 500 million phones in a single year to going bust, Nokia's collapse following the iPhone revolution is a classic case study. Now it has an opportunity to redeem itself with 5G technology. But it's losing that race too. With an acquisition gone wrong and lack of vision at the top, Nokia could fall for a second time. Here's a report.
But before BlackBerry was the leader in cell phone technology, there's a common name I think most persons will remember: Nokia. Nokias were some of the first cell phones and the first cell phone business to go internationally with their cell phone technology. Nokia, a cell phone company from Finland, was easily dominating the cell phone era with shares up to 40% worldwide. While Nokias were swift to the top when it comes on to business, it was also an equally swift decline in sales. So where did Nokia actually go wrong? It's generally known across the world that Nokia phones were almost indestructible as it relates to hardware. So they kept investing into hardware rather than software. And when the world was turning into a more smarter age where persons were buying smartphones instead of regular cell phones, Nokia failed to switch their cell phones to smartphones, and that's where other phone brands swooped in and took the market by storm. And by the time that Nokia had came out with their new software technology, it was too late and their software was inferior compared to the others in the market.
Right now, everything must go in every Blockbuster store in the city of Grand Rapids. The company filed for bankruptcy 6 months ago, and now it's closing up shop in the city. 24-hour News 8's Crystal Hilliard spent the evening in Easttown at the Blockbuster there. She joins us live. Crystal?
Susie, when Blockbuster originally filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy about 6 months ago, it said it would keep all 3,300 stores open. But tonight, as you can see at this Easttown store, it just could not survive.
Can anyone remember the age before streaming a movie, before Netflix, before watching a movie on the internet? Yes, I'm talking about CDs and VHS. There were so many movies that you would love to watch, but most persons couldn't bother to buy so much big, bulky hardware. So this is where Blockbuster came in. Blockbuster was a business that rented movies and games to the public. At its peak, Blockbuster employed over 84,000 people worldwide and had over 9,000 outlets worldwide. These sets of figures easily pushed them ahead of their other rivals in their respective fields. So if they were doing so well, what caused them to fail? This is where adapting to the market did not take place. The rise of Netflix and online streaming meant that Blockbuster's business model would have to change. But being a business that lacked vision, they did not change the business model thinking that this will always be the same, and this is the way that the world would remain. Netflix is one of the biggest movies and entertainment providers across the board because they adapted to the changing times.
We post them on Facebook, we tweet them, and we Instagram them. But before the marriage of phones and cameras, the digital camera defined disruptive technology. Steve Sasson was an engineer at Eastman Kodak in the late 1970s when he invented the digital camera.
Digital had kind of a bad reputation back in the 70s. There really were no digital consumer products, right? Today, everything's digital. You can't buy anything that doesn't have digital in the title. But back then, digital was sort of experimental. It was difficult to understand. It was expensive. It was esoteric, maybe unreliable.
It was an invention that would change the world.
In an age where pixels and photos are the streamline for every technological product, from cars to phones to houses to everything in this world, I would like you to take a second to acknowledge the business that made all of this possible. Kodak. Kodak was founded in 1888 and was the leader for photographic films throughout the 20th century. But for a company who streamlined such an innovative feature into this world, where are they now? Well, unfortunately, Kodak was afraid to innovate with the times. In 1975, they made the first digital camera, but they were so fearful of this that they didn't launch this product. Kodak being afraid to jump on this new innovative product, their other rivals then jumped to the opportunity and created digital cameras. The rivals such as Fuji. Kodak then filed for bankruptcy in 2012 and re-emerged in 2013, but catering for a smaller portion of this segment. And finally, Yahoo. It hurts my heart to say this, but Yahoo is one of the members of this list, even though I still have a Yahoo email address. In 2016, Yahoo was the biggest read news and media website in the world, with over 7 billion monthly views and it being the 6th most visited website in the world. And in 2005, they owned 21% of the online advertising market, which meant that they were way ahead of their other rivals and they were the market leaders. And Yahoo email service had over 281 million users. How does a company fall from this? Well, I'll tell you, mismanagement. There were a number of deals that Yahoo was supposed to finalize, but they didn't. One of these mismanagements was that they outsourced their search engine to Microsoft Bing. Another one of these mismanagements was that they were supposed to buy Google for $5 billion in 2002, which they didn't do, and look at them now. And if that wasn't enough to put the nail in the coffin, they were supposed to buy Facebook for $1 billion, and they tried to lower the price on Mark Zuckerberg, causing him to back out, and now Facebook's net worth is $163 billion. Talk about wasted opportunity. So as you can see, adapting to the market is very crucial. Adapting to the surrounding in which your business is very crucial. Understanding what exactly your customers want and understanding that this must be provided to stay afloat, to make a profit, and to satisfy customers and keep their loyalty. Because if this isn't done, there can be detrimental failures in your business or the overall failure of your business. You can lose millions and even billions of dollars just because you've wasted an opportunity. So, if you like this video, please remember to subscribe, share with a friend, and you can leave a comment down below and let me know what you think exactly. Thanks for watching.